when enough people receive the Holy Spirit on earth, what can we expect?
Well, this is why Jesus stuck around. If you've been following the Daily Lama, you'll know for a week or two we've been talking about the Acts of the Apostles. And a lot of people say, what's he going into the Acts of Apostles when Easter's not even here? It's not even here till the second week in April. And the reason why is because what we're talking about right now, and that the Lamasery thinks that people should focus more on what happened that last 40 days. Why does Jesus stick around? What kind of body is he in? What is he demonstrating? Because this is everything. And what is he asking the Father to do for the whole 40 days? And when he says finish on the cross and it's done, it's over, what does he really mean? Well, he kind of means the caterpillar to the butterfly, if you really want to know. But he's not doing that because he has to do that. He's already there. He's doing it to teach us. See, if all the resurrection and Easter was him overcoming death, well, he had already demonstrated that weeks before by raising up his good friend Lazarus, 4 days stinking dead in a tomb. Can you imagine the Middle East, right? Imagine springtime in the Middle East in the hot sun, no air condition. Why do I say that? Before they started embalming bodies, the well-to-do years ago, if you went into a mortuary afterwards and in a chapel where they had a body that you were paying respect to, don't be surprised that you would look down beyond the casket and that casket would be sitting on ice, because that's in the olden days how they preserved those bodies after people passed away. Did you know that? Pretty much was the well-to-do, but that's what they did. Well, they started embalming for two reasons. Number one, they didn't want to mess with the ice. And number two, every now and then when they would bury somebody shallow and they didn't drain their blood out and put the embalming fluid in, every now and then somebody would wake up. And that kind of started bothering them. Hey, these people are dying. They're not supposed to be waking it up. What the heck is this going on, right? So kind of funny when you think about that one. That's worth a thought or two in itself, right? Jesus says, Father, in the first wave, I want to take all of the impossible off the table. So I'm going to show up in a body that's full of the Spirit. The true Chanda, as the ancient Indians talked about. Spirit, mind, and body are one. And I'm going to show them that not only is my spirit, which is already vibrating 5D, but that my mind, which most of the time people's mind is caught up in 4 and 3D, and most people's body is only vibrating at 3D. It's not much different than knocking on the table. I'm going to show you a body and a mind with a spirit that's vibrating at 5D. I'm going to come in through the wall of my first appearance. I'm going to drink a little bit of water, a little bit of wine, eat a little bit of bread to take the Last Supper mindset to a new arena. And when I go out of here and these 30 and 40 people are witnesses, I'm going right up through the ceiling and out of here. That was happening in the first 36 hours. And as the thing unfolded, he's showing up to 2 and 3 people at a time. But once a day, he would find the largest gathering of the apostles and the disciples, and in their face again, he would show up, throw out a little Shakti pot, to supercharge their battery. He wanted to make sure that when he left in 40 days and ascended into the Father, that the apostles and the disciples got the biggest jolt to at least do one of 3 things. start second birth if it hadn't, get them in the middle of second birth if they were in the beginning, or get them all the way over. And so we see in Acts of Apostles chapter 3 and 4, what are we seeing? Well, we see what used to be the wimp, Peter, who denied Christ before the cross 3 times, all of a sudden gets the spine that Jesus saw in him from the very beginning. Upon you I will build, you are my rock, and upon my rock I will build my church, right? So he gets the spine, but he's reinforced because who already has the spine is John the Beloved. So John the Beloved and Peter are obviously somewhere between halfway through to ultimately. So they go out and what do? They start doing where Jesus left off. They are sitting there healing people outside the Pharisees and the Sanhedrin. They're projecting, they're healing blind people. People can't talk. And lo and behold, they walk up to the synagogue, and there's this guy that's been around for years that hasn't been able to walk in 20, 30 years. And they just go up to him and touch him and say, arise and walk. And he arises and walks. And what's he do? He runs back into the Pharisees and Sanhedrin. He's flipping out, partly excited, but also like a babbling idiot. He goes up to Caiaphas and the leaders, and he says, who healed you? He said, the followers of Jesus that you crucified. And they're healing me in his name and in his spirit. Do you think they're happy? Heck no. What did they want to do? They were hoping that they got rid of him, but he's now cloning himself through his Father's spirit. So the 40 days, he's shakti-potting everybody. And then as he's ascending up, he's asking his Father, pour out the outpouring of the Holy Spirit, which is the theme of today's lesson. And then he says, Father, I want you to continue. That was our agreement. If I did what you wanted me to, and I did, I honored our covenant. I want you to continue to pour out. And anybody that turns to you is my disciple, is my apostles, if they go through second birth. And they will prepare them for my second coming. And that's how, and every day since then, as Jimmy said earlier, it's just been accelerating. The energy is more in ascension. Every day your nervous system, your endocrine gland system, your energy body is being bombarded with the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. And the more that you do not block it coming in and block it going out. You say, why was Tai Chi Gung created, Lama Rasaji? For those two very reasons. Practice the exercise. You'll open up the portals. Abba can send it in easier, and you'll open the portals for the energy to go out. Remember what I told you about the crystal hanging in the window today? That's who we're supposed to be.